What's going on, 80K Sports Performance families? Ryan here with this week's Coach's Corner. And this week I wanted to talk about your athlete and tracking their progress in training and why that's important. And one of the biggest reasons that's important is it lets you know, is your training working or is it not? A lot of times people, they don't keep track of things and then they don't know why something is or isn't working. So having more data is going to help us make better decisions in terms of training. So that can be as simple as keeping track of your sets, your reps, your weight that you're doing. We have all of our athletes do that to make sure that they're continuing to progress and building their strength in all of their strength building exercises that they're doing. We also make sure that we keep track of their sprint times, their jump heights, as well as with our force checks, we get a lot more data that can help us as coaches dive a little bit deeper into your ability to create force, how fast you're able to create that force, and that's going to help us make more decisions in terms of training for our athletes. So we sometimes can find with our new force decks that an athlete has strength, but they have trouble producing it fast. And if they're not able to produce it fast, that's going to affect their ability to sprint, change direction, and decelerate. So that lets us know certain things as coaches that we can adjust their training in order to address some of those weaknesses. Or we might find out that they just aren't able to produce a ton of force. So we need to really work on strength. So we can dive a little bit deeper with some of our new technology to really dig into why some of our athletes aren't seeing the results that they want maybe on the field or on the court. So tracking these things can help us see, is the training that we're doing, is it affecting the things that we're trying to affect the way we want to. So the more data that we can collect, whether that be the weight that you lifted, the amount of sets you did, the reps you did, how high you jumped, how much force you created, how evenly you're landing on a jump, all those things are going to help us as coaches direct your training in order to maximally benefit your athlete. So if you are an athlete and you're training and you maybe aren't training with us and you're not tracking any of these things, whether it just be your weight that you're doing, how many sets, how many reps, what exercises, you're kind of shooting in the dark and hoping something works. But the importance of tracking your progress is going to be that you can make sure what you're doing is working. And if you find out something isn't working, you can adjust things, or if something is working, maybe continuing down that path. So at the end of the day, the more data that you can collect, the better, because that's going to help you make better decisions in regards to your training. It also can let us know different trends on if an athlete is not hydrating well, what that does to their sprint times or jump heights, and that can lead to some really good conversations surrounding recovery and preparation for training. If you have questions about your athlete and how they could or should be tracking their progress in the gym and how that can maximize their performance on the field or court, feel free to reach out and we can talk about how we can help. We'll see you next week.